With Chinese American takeout food, there's always history there if you dig for it, and it's always a lot more interesting than you think it is. Going into something assuming that all Chinese American takeout food doesn't have a story and egg rolls are just egg rolls is a disservice to 46,000 Chinese restaurants in the US, hundreds of years of immigration history, and everything that sets a tone for like why I'm in this country in the first place. Hey, what's up? My name is Lucas Sin. I'm the chef of Junzi Kitchen and Nice Day Chinese. Today we are making classic egg rolls. You did not come here for a spring roll video. You came here for an egg roll video. There is a very distinct difference. Spring rolls are thin and they're usually vegetable. Egg rolls are an American invention. They have a thicker, chewier dough, but in so doing, it's a different type of textural triumph. The original 1930s New York takeout style. This is the one that you can find in all your corner stores, all of your Chinese takeout places. Use it as a baseline upon which you may innovate and use whatever you need to do to wrap into some sort of like crispy, chewy, delicious parcel. It's gonna start with our 3 core vegetables. It's gonna be cabbage, it's gonna be carrot, it's gonna be celery. So we'll just cut up the cabbage first. Break this down into quarters. Basically as thin as you can, but not quite Japanese bread cutlet restaurant type of thin. Cabbage is the main filling. Why do we use cabbage? Because cabbage is cheap. And Chinese takeout restaurants are all about economic sensibility and survivability. Kind of thin. This is Chinese celery. See how long and fresh and beautiful this is? This has about 300% the amount of celery flavor that regular celery does. If you use this stuff as a flavoring, as it is the case in this filling, this will pack a lot more of a punch. Always less celery than you think. So here we have about 3 to 4 stalks of Chinese celery to almost half a head of cabbage. If you can keep all of your strands an equal length, you'll be a happy camper. Water is boiling. Just blanch all of this. We're gonna do it in 2 batches. It's gonna take maybe 20 or 30 seconds. I'm just looking for cabbage to wilt. I wanna keep that color out there. Nice and bright green. All the chlorophyll is at the surface. That's what you want. Check this guy in the ice bath. Stop it from cooking. The traditional way to take this out of after you take this out of the water actually is to put it in a sort of like metal sieve and then put another bowl on it and then have a 4th grader sit on it for like 2 days. Chinese takeout restaurants are family businesses. Everyone's gonna do their part. We're peeling this shrimp, and yes, we're gonna chop this shrimp up to mix with pork into the filling. We don't really need that much at all. What you want to do with shrimp is washing the heck out of this with cold water. Sometimes a small dash of salt, sugar, and cornstarch, but you wash the heck out of it to push all of that shrimp liquid outside of the shrimp. Shrimp is made of 2 things, shrimp solid and shrimp liquid. Shrimp liquid doesn't taste good. So shrimp like this, after you've peeled all the tails off, clean it up, you wanna wash this with water very vigorously. Shrimp goes in, maybe 30 seconds to a minute. It's starting to curl up. Once it's curled out, I'm gonna give it another 10 seconds. Shrimp comes out. Ice water. This step in Cantonese we call guo lang ho, crossing the cold water river. So we're just gonna chop this shrimp up into little pieces, small morsels interspersed within cabbage. Traditional Tang Dynasty poem. Every Thanksgiving at Junzi Kitchen in New Haven, we would have these egg roll contests. His kid named Chris, and he would go every single year. He's Filipino, and he would go all out, and he would make these insane lumpia to show him and to teach him that sometimes, unfortunately, cooking is about matching the expectations and the needs of your customers and not just your own sort of like desires and need to express yourself culturally or narratively or otherwise. I would always roll up every Thanksgiving 15 minutes before the competition began, and I would make these cheeseburger egg rolls because I had them once at Disney World, and I would just sweep the floor with him and his authentic lumpia every single year. The moral of the story is the food industry is a difficult place, and sometimes we don't get to make the things we want to make. Cook the pork next to finish off the filling for the egg roll. We have a pan, a non-stick pan because it's kind of similar to a wok. Use whatever pan you have at home. A little bit of oil. This is half pound of pork. That goes in. Oftentimes, especially when we're using ground pork, it was pre-frozen or something like that, you might notice that there's a little bit of an off flavor to it, and the Chinese way to combat this is a little bit of cooking wine. Shaoxing is good, sherry is good too. Small amount of salt, small amount of sugar, very small amount of white pepper. And this is 5 spice that we make. Little bit of soy sauce just for that umami, try to get the glaze. This is a little bit of oyster sauce to give it a little bit more of that savory depth. So this kind of dark brown color is kind of what we want. You can take this a little further. I like to caramelize it a little longer because, again, what we're comparing ourselves to is char siu. And char siu has those beautiful sort of like roasted burnt bits on the side. So you do want a little bit more caramelization on your pork. That's good to go. We're gonna turn this off. Cabbage mixture has been resting for a little while. So we're going to wrap this up over here and we're gonna start squeezing out all of this moisture. We're squeezing out all of the moisture because we don't want that water soaking up the inner layers of the egg roll. We don't want that moisture getting in the way of the cook of the inside layers. As much water as you can get out of there, the better. Let's put that shrimp in there too. Careful not to get that water in there too. I'm gonna use half of that. And then pork-wise, I'm gonna use half of that too. If you want to season it, do it right before you're about to wrap your spring rolls. Don't season it way ahead of time because that salt's gonna bring out more water. And if you do, you're gonna have to wring it out again. A little bit of salt, a little bit of sugar, just to make it a little bit more filling. Here's the wrapper. These are egg roll wrappers. I am not cool enough to make my own wrappers today, but you absolutely can. What you don't want are spring roll wrappers. You don't want any wrappers that say extra thin, extra crispy. That's not what we're gunning for here. Flour side down. And what you want here is, you're aiming for chunky boys. You want chunky egg rolls. A little bit more filling than you think will make better shapes, so to speak. You want to move this filling, make sure nothing is creeping under the side, bunch it in the middle. You're going to pull this bottom corner up until it's over. Holding down the wrapper with your left hand, you're going to pull the right hand until this is nice and tight. Roll a little bit, and then you're going to go 90 degrees like this, 90 degrees like this. Hold it with your left hand. Grab a little bit of cornstarch water. Egg also works, but if you were to make a vegan version without pork and shrimp, for example, this would be great. Just keep this nice and tight as you're rolling it, and that cornstarch slurry should give it a nice seal. That's our 4 egg rolls. Egg rolls are gonna go in. You have to fry them twice. So we're just gonna do 2 at a time first, just to test the waters. As this is cooking, we have a couple minutes, so we're gonna get the key sauces for egg rolls going. These guys that have made their way across America, these types of mustards and duck sauce, this is what we've come down to. We can do better than this. English mustard powder, or sometimes called hot Chinese mustard powder. It only gets spicy if you use cold water. You cannot use hot water for it. I don't really understand why. The ratio roughly is 1 to slightly less than 1, but the best way to do it is to do it by sight. Add a little bit of cold water at a time, mix it up, get it all in there, and then add a little bit more. Just about like that. So you're just gonna mix it so that it dissolves. It all comes together. And that's it. I guarantee you this stuff, fresh-ish, is gonna be spicier and more delicious than the stuff that's in the packet or anything that comes out of a bottle. You have to let this sit for at least 15 minutes, 30 minutes would be best, because that's when all of those sort of compounds start activating. So at 7 minutes, you have a pale golden egg roll that looks a little bit like this. It does not yet look delicious, but it will be after the second fry. Duck sauce comes from the Cantonese sun mujiang or so mujiang, which is plum sauce. So it's originally served with roast duck, which is why it's called duck sauce. And in Hong Kong, the version is made with this fruit right here. This fruit is, we call it a plum over here, but it actually is closer to an apricot. It basically is a significantly salted and sour plum. So we're gonna start here. Let's go for 2 tablespoons of apricot, 1 of these preserved plums. We're gonna take that pit out. 1 tablespoon of applesauce. This is that secret ingredient. Give it 1 tablespoon-ish of vinegar, a significant amount of sugar. I'm gonna say half a tablespoon here. Mix that all up. Make sure you chop up that plum. Everything can be done to taste. It is a very simple no cook recipe. So this looks a little tiny bit thick to me, so I'm just gonna give it a little bit more vinegar. This liquid here is really, really nice and salty, and it gives a little bit of that plum flavor too. It looks clear, but this is the pickling liquid. Just give it a touch just to boost it up a little bit. Cool, funky, delicious, nice. So, homemade duck sauce, homemade mustard sauce. Check these egg rolls over here real quick. Okay, so you might be asking yourself, you know, around the 7-minute mark, how do you know if an egg roll is cooked for this first fry at this lower temperature? You will notice that there will be bubbles that are escaping outside between the roll. After that, all you're trying to do is color. Take these guys out. Crank it up, 375, second fry. All we're looking for here is color. We just want color. We just want crispiness. This guy is floating. It's one. There you go. That guy is brown. That guy's happy. So that's pretty good. That's that. See that? Spicy mustard, duck, sweet and sour, spicy. The inside is already significantly salt, so it's good. That's what I'm talking about. It's like the best Chinese food. When you take the first bite, it hurts you a little and then you like want a little bit more. The mustard is super, super, super hot. It's tamed a little bit by the sweetness of the apricot, but the duck sauce is a little bit more complicated. It's not just vinegar and sugar. So you get like these cool umami notes in the back of your palate. I'm Lucas In. I make egg rolls. Visit us at Nice Day Chinese, our new American Chinese takeout place, or talk to us on Instagram. Recipe, link below.